Hi, this is Amit Roy. I am the editor of Group 10, and I'm happy to present slide 1, first with introductions, second with a purpose statement or our purpose statement for the group. So would love to introduce our first individual is Sean Perkins. He has served on our project as a quality assurance / writer. Sean's field of work has been in the federal government space, and his hobbies include golf, dominoes, camping, watching football, and spending time with his 2-year-old. Our next individual on Group 10 is Valeria Liz Munoz. Her project role is a facilitator. Her field of work is UX/UI design, as well as information tech. And her hobbies include watching movies, going to the theater, reading books, and enjoying concerts. Our next individual is Justin Haslett. He's currently serving as a facilitator / writer for our project. His field of work is information technology, and some of his hobbies include he loves walking his dog and exploring new cities. My name is Amit Roy. In this project, I served as the editor. My field of work is HR and payroll, and my hobbies include grilling, traveling, and watching movies. Last but not the least, we have Ariel Vega, and he has served on our project as a writer. His field of work is a full-time ministry, and his hobbies include watching NFL with family and playing pickleball. Our purpose statement for Group 10 is, the purpose of the study is to measure the effects on the hearing abilities of teenagers who frequently use personal listening devices.
First, let's describe what the human hearing range is, how volume is measured, and how hearing loss occurs. Human hearing is usually measured in the range of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Volume is measured in decibels. As humans age, their hearing threshold becomes narrower, as in instead of 20 to 20,000 Hz, it may change to 80 to 12,000 Hz. This is a normal consequence of aging. However, instances of high volume or decibel sounds can alter hearing thresholds, causing drastic hearing damage or even tinnitus, which is a constant ringing in one's ear. Here, we'll discuss some studies that have explored the use and misuse of personal listening devices in relation to hearing loss. A study that is similar in purpose to ours was conducted in 2017 in Sweden and tested the personal listening device habits and hearing thresholds found in adolescents. It involved 280 17-year-old participants, 50 of which underwent audiological testing to determine if they experienced any hearing loss. The results of this study concluded that adolescents that listened to their PLDs at higher volumes and for longer durations were likely to suffer from tinnitus and lower overall hearing thresholds. Interestingly, this study went a step further and separated its participants by gender and discovered that female participants reported more subjective hearing problems but exhibited better hearing thresholds than their male counterparts. Another study conducted in 2016 was done with the intent to explore the unsafe listening habits of PLD users. It discovered that almost 60% of the participants exceeded the safe daily noise dose. This noise dose is described by OSHA as a permissible exposure limit of 90 decibels during an 8-hour workday, meaning that most participants would frequently listen to their personal listening devices at such a high volume that it would violate a federal workplace safety requirement. This study can be referred to when discussing known, measured, and regulated safe listening volumes. In 1990, a study was performed hoping to detect hearing damage in participants aged 15 to 23 simply from the listening of amplified music. This particular study is interesting in that it shows the various testing techniques that can be used to determine auditory thresholds in participants, and that hearing damage can occur by simply listening to extremely high volumes of music from speakers instead of personal listening devices such as earbuds or headphones. Finally, a study similar to ours that was published in 2011 set out to assess the risk of hearing loss among PLD users aged 13 to 17 years old. This study used a self-reporting questionnaire and measured decibel levels of the participants' preferred media volumes. The results of the study were that even when a participant was in a relatively quiet space, they preferred to listen to their devices at an almost unsafe level for hours on end. When a participant was in an environment that was high in background noise, the measured volume of their devices would be found to be at extremely high levels that would eventually lead to hearing damage and loss. Additionally, a study that had the goal of determining unsafe listening levels from PLDs in high-volume entertainment venues across the world was conducted. This study discovered that individuals aged 12 to 34 years old worldwide were practicing easily quantifiable unsafe listening habits, and estimated that almost 1 billion young people were putting themselves at risk for permanent hearing loss. Upon the conclusion of the study, a call to action was suggested by urging governments, entertainment industries, and society at large to promote safe listening habits and practices. With multiple studies resulting in evidence in the widespread misuse of PLDs and safe listening habits, it is an important topic for research so that we may use the gathered data to inform young people of the dangers they are willingly subjecting themselves to and how it may affect them for the rest of their lives.
In our study, we've adopted a mixed methods approach, integrating both quantitative and qualitative research methodologies to comprehensively understand the impact of personal listening device usage on hearing health among American teenagers. This approach is supported by Zhao et al., 2016, who highlighted the urgent need for safe listening practices among adolescents to prevent hearing damage. Quantitatively, we aim to measure the correlation between the duration and volume of personal listening device usage and hearing threshold shifts through surveys and audiometric testing, as emphasized by West and Evans, 1990, who found that exposure to loud music could harm young listeners, detectable through high-resolution audiometry. Qualitatively, we seek to explore teenagers' perceptions, influences, and attitudes towards hearing health and personal listening device usage, drawing insights from Widen et al., 2017, who noted the correlation between high-volume listening sessions and poorer hearing thresholds among Swedish adolescents. Our methodology's justification extends from its capacity to address the complexity of behaviors and outcomes related to personal listening device usage and its impact on hearing health. This mixed methods approach allows for a robust examination of both the measurable aspects of personal listening device usage, such as frequency, duration, and volume, and the subjective experiences that influence these behaviors, including social, cultural, and psychological factors. Quantitative data offers the statistical backbone necessary for establishing patterns and correlations, essential for making broad generalizations about the population under study, as seen in the research by Portnoy et al., 2011, focusing on the relationship between volume settings on personal listening devices and the risk of music-induced hearing loss. Meanwhile, qualitative data, enriched by the findings of Sekar et al., 2011, who aim to improve adolescent hearing loss detection, provides context and depth, revealing the why and how behind the observed behaviors. It uncovers the motivations, beliefs, and attitudes that drive personal listening device usage, offering insights into potential intervention points for promoting healthier listening practices. Integrating these methodologies leverages the strengths of both, providing a comprehensive understanding that is more likely to inform effective health communication strategies and interventions. This approach, echoing the comprehensive framework proposed by seminal works in health research methodologies, bridges the gap between numerical data and human experience, effectively tackling a complex health issue.
Moreover, for our inquiry project, there are future directions and implications that research can follow. Some of them are, it'll be pertinent to develop educational interventions such as school curriculum integration, school-based hearing screenings, potential education initiatives, among others, and then explore the effectiveness of those educational interventions on personal listening devices habits among teenagers. Moreover, further analysis is required to comprehend the impact of parental supervision and guidance on teenagers' personal listening devices usage habits. The exploration should investigate the specific ways in which parental involvement, oversight, and guidance influence the frequency, duration, and volume levels of personal listening devices usage among teenagers. On top of that, it will be important to investigate the long-term societal and economic implications of hearing loss among American teenagers due to personal listening device usage. Moreover, there are unanswered questions and areas for further research, such as are there disparities in personal listening device usage habits and their effects on hearing abilities among different socioeconomic and demographic groups of American teenagers? What are the potential psychological and social consequences of hearing loss among teenagers resulting from excessive personal listening device usage? Does the duration and intensity of personal listening devices usage during adolescence have a cumulative effect on hearing loss in adulthood? These are some of the questions that remain for this inquiry project that can be quantitative or qualitative for future research.
The use of personal listening devices has been very popular among teenagers. However, a bad use of earphones can result in temporary or permanent hearing loss. It is important for teens to learn the proper use of them. This includes the correct amount of time teenagers should use their earphones and the correct volumes their devices should be at. There was a study in the US that showed 12% of adolescents between 6 and 19 years old had symptoms of noise-induced hearing loss, and 15% of college students complained of hearing loss. Later on, it was found from the same study that the main cause of such hearing loss was the improper use of portable audio devices. This study shows the effects that PLDs can bring, the habits of teenagers while using them, and the hearing loss coming from it. And it shows what we can do to prevent them. It is important that we can support and help our younger generation to have a better and healthier life in the future. Technology nowadays is very different from the one in our past. Teens nowadays have way more access to devices that can harm them permanently. It is our responsibility to show them the correct way to stay healthy.